G'day chaps. So I've just completed this first this infantry brigade that I'm doing, and I'll explain who they all are. But first of all, I just wanted to talk about how the Dutch performed at Quatre Bras, and how, if they hadn't done that, the road to Brussels would have been wide open. So reports started coming in from all over about the French invasion and the Prussians' defeat. And so on the morning before Quatre Bras, the Dutch troops are all stationed around that area. And the Prince of Orange went to check in on all his troops in the morning and then headed off to the Duke of Richmond's ball. And then reports were coming in of an attack coming up through this area. And Wellington actually ordered all the Dutch troops to fall back on previous positions. But when Rebecque received these orders, he decided, because Wellington thought the French attack was a feint and they were going to attack somewhere else, but when Rebecque, the Dutch general, received these orders, he believed this was actually the real attack, so he ignored the orders and said he got them too late, and he actually ordered more troops forward to Quatre Bras. And obviously that is where the main French attack came, and the Dutch militia there and the Dutch regulars and the Dutch Jaegers pretty much held off the entire French attack. The attack started at around 10 o'clock in the morning, and they were pushed all the way back. By the time the British arrived, they were pushed all the way back to Gemmincourt Farm and the Bosso Woods. And at the start of the battle, William of Orange only had 8,000 men and 16 guns, where the French had 16,000 men, 2,000 cavalry and 38 guns. So they were outnumbered 2-1 and had absolutely no cavalry. But still managed to hold off this entire French attack till around 3 o'clock, when the British started to arrive. And they were immediately ordered into battle as well. And then things stabilised. So the end of the battle, the French were pushed right back to their starting position. So the battle was really a draw. But if it hadn't for the courage and bravery of the Dutch troops, Quatre Bras would have been a complete disaster, and the road to Brussels would have been wide open. So now we're heading on to Waterloo, and the reason I've decided to do this particular brigade. So this is the 3rd Infantry Division, part of, and this is the 1st Brigade under Colonel Detmers. And it was David Henry Chassé that was in charge of this division. So that's Chassé there. I'm going to say that's Colonel Detmers, and this is his brigade. And they're made up of the 2nd Dutch Line Infantry, the 4th Dutch Line Infantry, 6th Dutch Line Infantry, 17th Militia, 19th Militia, and the 35th Jaegers. And the reason I've chosen to do this particular brigade, I'm also doing the 2nd Brigade as well, because I've decided I haven't got anywhere near enough infantry in this army. So the reason I've chosen to do these is because at Waterloo, most of the day they were actually kept out of the battle. They were put in reserve. David Henry Chassé, good old Dutch name. He was very anti-British, and he had fought for the French. He wasn't really trusted, although it turns out, he was loyal to the Netherlands and to Holland and to the Allied cause. And so late in the day, when Napoleon was trying to finish the British off once and for all and get that masterstroke done, because by this time, of course, the Prussians started to turn up. So he threw forward all the Imperial Guard. And we're led to believe, especially if you watch the film Waterloo, that it was Maitland's 52nd that stopped the Imperial Guard dead in his tracks. But what actually happened was General Chassé was ordered forward, and being an experienced commander, fought for the French, He read the situation perfectly. He brought all his guns forward and just battered the Imperial Guard with canister. And when they started to waver, like they just couldn't advance, too many bodies to climb over, and every time you move forward, you're just getting annihilated, basically, by canister shot. And at that point, when they were wavering, he had about 6,000 men at his disposal, and he ordered them all forward in a mad bayonet charge. And the French Imperial Guard just couldn't take it, and they just ran. And then, of course, all across the line, as we know, the French saw the Guard running, and that was the end for them. The entire French army disintegrated, having seen what they considered the Imperial Guard, the bravest of the brave, and if they were running, there was no hope left, really. Fly by, so you can have a closer look at some of these troops. Although you have, if you've been watching my videos, you've seen all these before anyway. They do look pretty good en masse, like that, I think. So I did promise Paul Richardson that I'd show him where I'm at so far. So I've got them still to be painted. And then that's where I am with everything else I've done. But I'm going to save the full reveal of them for when I do the real showcase. So yeah, this brigade is only half of the force General Chassé had. Obviously there's another brigade as well, so this would represent around 3,000 men. But you can imagine if 6,000 angry men start running at you with bayonets, it's going to ruin your day a little bit. So I hope that dispels some of the rumours about the Dutch-Belgian troops and our common belief that at first sight of the enemy, they just packed up and ran away. Yeah, complete rubbish. They stood and fought very bravely, held Quatre Bras, and then saw off the Imperial Guard at Waterloo. And the Prince of Orange himself wasn't the inept idiot that Bernard Cornwall leads us to believe. He was actually quite an experienced military commander. He was in fact injured at Waterloo in the shoulder. He wasn't shot by Richard Sharp, but he was injured by the French. Despite that injury, he went on to become the King of Holland. So yeah, a little bit more about Prince of Orange very quickly. That he did initially start fighting for the Prussians for 2 years, and then went over and was actually on Wellington's staff in the Peninsula from 1811 onwards. So yeah, he did have some good experience as a battlefield commander. Anyway, it's my collection so far. I've got another entire brigade to paint. And I'm going to try and get them militia done today, hopefully, because I've put in a big order with Eureka, and I've ordered everything else that I need. At the moment, I've got a unit of cavalry and a unit of line infantry to do, and then everything else should turn up in the post in the next couple of days, hopefully. And I'll try and get a sprint on and get as much done as I can before I have to go back to work. Hope I haven't gone on too long. I could go into more detail about Quatre Bras and Waterloo if anybody's really interested, but I just wanted to give a brief overall discussion, really, without going on too long. So I hope it helps. Any questions, put them in the comments below, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now. Oh yeah, just one more thing before I go. I'd like to give a big shout out and thank you to Medieval Warrior, who's done my little intro at the start of the videos for me. He's actually done a few different ones, so over time I'll swap them about on that. So thank you, Nick. Medieval Warrior, please go and check him out. Yeah, and that's me.